New Godzilla anime series announced. Concept art revealed for first ever story of a boy with Godzilla's power. I have to ask, who wants this? I'm not even like being mean. I'm not trying to judge too harshly or, like jump on this, before a trailer even comes out. But it's just like, why? Two reasons, right? I have two main reasons for this. One, Kaiju number 8 did this already. The Netflix Ultraman series did this already. Is this all you got in the tank? When you get an anime series, you can kind of do anything because the point is it's animated, right? You can just sort of go, well, we can have infinite monsters in this and, do that. Or we can just do a story that's been told a gajillion times already. It baffles me. Obviously, we don't even have a trailer yet. Let's read about it. Toho Animation, the studio behind massive anime hits, officially announced a brand new Godzilla anime series at a stage event during the Anime Festival Asia Singapore 2025 convention, releasing the first concept art for the globally anticipated project. The new Godzilla animated series announced on stage at the anime, it's set to be a shocking work that is unprecedented in the entire Godzilla franchise, including the live-action films. Its groundbreaking concept centers on a protagonist who is a boy wielding the power of Godzilla. No thank you. Here's the second reason why I hate this. I think it's cool to make experimental entries in a franchise, right? I love that stuff. I love Godzilla vs. Ghidorah. That's one of my favorite movies ever. It might actually be probably my favorite movie besides like King Kong and Moneyball. But basically, you can experiment though when there's an established status quo, right? If you want to get weird with something, you have to have a baseline understanding of what that thing is, okay? Here's an example, right? We'll go Superman, okay? They did, Superman versus the Mole Men. They did Superman with Christopher Reeve. They made 4 of those movies. They did Superman Returns. And then Zack Snyder came along, regardless of what you have to say about Zack Snyder, and he did a reinterpretation of Superman that was darker, more serious, more cynical, right? He was killing people. He was being a not too great person. Regardless, you can deconstruct Superman because there have already been on-screen versions of Superman that are in line with what the character is. My point being with this, we haven't really gotten a proper Godzilla anime ever. So they're trying to make a new experimental version of Godzilla in anime form, but they've never made a true baseline standard Godzilla anime. Do you see my problem with this? Yes, we had the Hanna-Barbera series. We had Godzilla the series. You could say that, the anime trilogy, I guess, but it's like that was so far out there. And same with Singular Point. What I'm getting at is I think most people would like a Godzilla anime series that is a Monster of the Week series. It's essentially my pitch video that I put out. I think most people would want that as a baseline, like, okay, look, we're going to give the fans what they want. Now that they have that, now we're going to make our weird story with a boy with Godzilla powers. If they did that, I think that the reception would be very positive for the most part. I really don't understand this mindset of we really want to make experimental stuff without making a baseline version of the character in anime form first. That's how I feel. That's my surface level understanding. Obviously, there's no trailer out yet, so, Birdman, not to put you on the spot here, but I don't know if we can say it's going to be kiddie as fuck, like you said, because we don't know that yet. We don't have a trailer out. All we have is this, right? I think that you have to kind of wait for the trailer before making any assumptions like that. Otherwise, you'll look kind of off. It's not a good look. You have to wait. Whatever happens, happens. Will Godzilla even be in this? We don't know. We don't know. He looks like he's kind of here. Like I see a jaw, some teeth. It looks like atomic breath. Could just be an apparition. They could make him like a cloud behind the kid, like, he's Galactus or something in Rise of Silver Surfer. I don't know. And at the end of the day, there's only so much that you could speculate on. I'm just giving you my opinion here. This is my take. I think this is going to be rough. I think it's going to be very much panned here in the West. We'll see what happens, though, in the East, because completely different mindset over there, right? There are some Godzilla movies that Japanese audiences loved. There are some, Godzilla movies that we love here in the West that they can't stand. Personally, I can't stand this idea. But it might work there. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Let's see what Chad has to say first, right? This one caught my attention. AnimeZilla Prime 997 says, I think it's a great idea, and at least it's new. I'm tired of the same thing over and over again. I understand where you're coming from, and you know what? It's great that you think this is a cool idea. Genuinely, I'm being serious, right? My thing is, I just wish that we had a status quo first before getting into weird stuff. I don't think in anime we have really gotten the same thing over and over again, considering just how different each anime version of Godzilla has been. Like, the anime trilogy, boring as shit, right? But they at least tried something new. It was like a post-apocalyptic kind of thing. You had cults, you had sci-fi elements, you had these like half-human, half-machine people with, like amalgamation stuff with the Mechagodzilla city. There was a lot of interesting ideas that have never been done before in Godzilla. Singular Point, same way, right? All the weird shit with, like nuclear physics and like quantum whatever bullshit. It's too smart for me to understand. But I don't think that we've gotten the exact same thing over and over again with anime. With movies, I could see it. If this was a movie, a live action movie, I'd be like, yeah, why not? Why not? It's weird. But with anime, I'm just kind of like, give me a bare bones concept first that I don't know. That's me. Let's see what else people have to say. You don't like this idea. Let's run a poll. Let's just run a poll. We'll say, are you on board with this new Godzilla anime? Yes or no? Let's just see what Chad has to say. I'm curious, right? Because not everyone's going to be super active. I'm sure there's just people watching. We'll see what the general consensus is. I'm just curious. It looks like no is overwhelmingly winning here. Honestly, I want a Godzilla anime that's an adaptation of Godzilla in Hell. We wouldn't be stuck reading comics or watching fan animations. Well, first off, great concept, but wouldn't be stuck reading comics. I think comics are a fantastic art form. I don't view it as anything lesser than, TV or movies. It's wonderful. I love comics. So I don't agree with you on that specific thing, especially with fan animations. I do agree, though, that an adaptation of Godzilla in Hell would go insanely hard. Completely agree. Half W take. I just don't agree with your wording on the comics part. Anime based off Rulers of Earth? Yes. I completely agree, Anguirus Enjoyer 4792. 100%, man. Totally agree with this. Because that could be your, that's your monster of the week type story, right? It has all the great elements of what you would want in a Godzilla anime. Completely agree. Pulling from the comics would be the best move. And getting people like Matt Frank involved would be ideal. Oh my word, that'd be peak. Live from the Porcelain Palace, great username, says, I'm 53. Most of my life I wanted a Godzilla anime to be made. I thought he would translate better in anime and they could do so much more than what guys in rubber suits could give us. I agree. I think that anime has so much potential for Godzilla, and it just seems like they are not interested in doing at least what should the word be? An entry-level Godzilla show. That should just be, give us just 8 episodes, guys. 1 season. That's all we need. Maybe they can make that MonsterVerse anime. I doubt that's going to happen. They've been talking about that for a while. I don't know. This is going to be like another My Hero Academia. We'll see. Right? I don't want to assume just yet. The art style kind of gives me that vibe.
You know what? However, we're done.
We're not done. Daddy isn't done speaking. You will come back here.
Doc Kaiju says, a lot of younger fans seem to be excited about the new anime. I might not be its target audience, but there is definitely one for it. Could be good for the franchise and for younger fans. You know what? That's fair, right? As long I'm not opposed to this thing existing. I just want to clarify that. I'm not trying to jump on this before a trailer even comes out. Look, if it introduces younger fans to Godzilla, or like you mentioned in your prior comment here, East Asia, in like Thailand, if it's like that and it brings in more fans, wonderful. I'm completely okay with that. Goji Guy is pumped for the anime. What specifically interests you, Goji Guy? I'm just curious. You don't have to type out a whole essay, but like, is there something about this that like is like really intriguing you? Because for me personally, it really doesn't do it for me. Okay, Goji Guy says, I've always wanted a super anime-style kaiju fight, like flipping and flying and whatnot, so while not the kaiju themselves, this is the closest we'll get for a while. You know what, man? That's completely fair. Also, his hands coming together to blast the beam is sick as hell. Is that what this is? I'm trying to kind of figure out what I'm even looking at here. If that's the case, that's pretty cool. It reminds me of Cyborg's Super, where like he clasps his hands together and then it makes like a giant cannon. That's immediately what I thought of when you said that. That's now that you say that, that's intriguing. I'm open to this, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, for me personally, I doubt it's really going to be my thing. If Godzilla is a human, we may get a view of his life as a kaiju, always being strayed from society and viewed as a menace, that on the kid doesn't belong in the playground. Hey man, I don't think that's the case. I think it's literally a normal teen boy has the powers of Godzilla. I don't think it's Godzilla as a human. I think he got it the other way around. Happy camper with your popcorn, Rodan, chicken nuggies. Hell yeah, dude. Any new Godzilla media, I'm happy. Yeah. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.